Hello there, and welcome to today's marketing session. We are going to chat about how you can actually stand out online. This has got to be probably the number one question that I get, and then I asked myself when I first started showing up online because there are so many options. Right? I mean, you're scrolling through the news feed and you're seeing tons of content, you're seeing ads, you're driving and you're seeing billboards, you're hearing things on maybe the radio if you're listening to your local radio stations, or you're listening to things on Sirius, magazines, if you still pick one of those up. I know I do, or online, on television. So, how can you stand out? There is so much clutter and so many impressions that are thrown at us a day. I'm talking about thousands per person. Okay. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about today. If you're brand new to the page, welcome. My name is Gina Tassinelli. I'm the creator of Stylishly Branding with Gina, which is my favorite part of our social media marketing agency, Hype Media. And I work with women-led business owners, entrepreneurs, experts, coaches, consultants, network marketing leaders in how you can use social media as a tool to help you stand out from the competition. And I use quotes around competition because what we're going to talk about today, I hope that at the end you'll understand that when you can actually do this and when you're consistent doing or following along with some of the tips that I'm going to share with you today, you'll realize that you really have no competition. Okay. And you can actually be seen through all of that clutter, through all of those thousands of impressions that people are getting fed to them daily. All right. So, if there is something that you absolutely love that I say that resonates with you, maybe it's an amazing tip, drop hashtag wow down below because that just lets me know that something I said resonated with you. And if you're watching this on the replay, please do not be shy because I always come back and I respond to everybody's comments and questions. Okay. That's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. And I'm happy to help. If you're new, you're going to find that I love to chat. And I also love to make this interactive. Okay. It's already kind of weird to be kind of talking to myself on camera. So let's make this interactive. Again, even if you're catching this on the replay, it's all good. But if you're watching live with me, let's make it interactive. I'm here to support you. Here's the first thing I want to talk about. So just a few minutes ago, I told you how literally, if you think about it, there are thousands of impressions that we are getting daily from everything that we do, scrolling through social media, going on Google, Yahoo, whatever, reading the news online, watching television, maybe you're in your car, you're constantly being fed information and ads, businesses trying to acquire your business, your attention, right? So how do you break out from all of this clutter as a solopreneur, as an expert, as a business owner? Here's how. You do this by building a personal brand. And you're probably thinking, what does that mean? Like, how do I build a personal brand? What do I need to do that? I don't have a logo, or maybe I have a logo. I have a brand. Okay, here's what I want you to know first. A personal brand is not your logo. And maybe you did what I did when I started our businesses 14. We just celebrated 14 years in December, 14 years ago. I waited to show up online until I had my website ready, which, by the way, is a disaster and getting redone. My logo, my colors, my fonts, all of that stuff. And what I found out, thankfully sooner than later, was that that is not what my business is about. That is not my brand. What my brand is me. It's Gina Tassinelli. I am the leader of my business, therefore I am the brand. And that is how you can generate more sales, serve more people, and make a bigger impact, is by showing up as a human being, by showing up as you. Robin, I miss everyone. I put myself on pause to deal with some things, but coming back. Yay! I get it. I get it, girl. There are, it's been, we're all dealing with things. So I totally, totally understand. And we're here to support you. So I can't wait for you to come back. So if you're looking to generate more sales, then you want to listen in. Okay. All right. So let's talk about how can building a personal brand actually increase your sales. Okay. There's several different ways. This is a collective effort. Okay. All right. So here's some ways that showing up and building a personal brand can increase your sales. One of the biggest reasons and the biggest ways is that when your ideal clients, customers, your followers, your audience, when they see a face, they see an actual human that represents that business, it's going to make it easier for them to relate to the messages that you're putting out there, to your values, to the content, to your posts. But there needs to be that human effect, that human connection. All right. Especially when you are an entrepreneur, maybe you're a solopreneur. We cannot pretend that we are the Nikes of the world. Most of us that are in business for ourselves cannot. And that is something that even when I started my own businesses, because I came from a corporate atmosphere in advertising and marketing where my clients were those big national brands, I thought that that's how I had to show up. And that is farthest from the truth. It's really hard for people to make a connection with you as a service provider when you're not putting yourself into your marketing and into your brand. Okay. So the more that people start to recognize you and to like you and to connect with your values, the more likely they're going to spend money with you and with your business, because they're connecting with you on a human level. They start to like, know, trust, and buy from you. Okay. When it comes to your personal branding and people investing into a company, they're actually investing in you first. This is especially true for a service provider, or even if you represent a product, if you're in direct sales, if you're in network marketing, they're investing in you. They're not investing in the product. And when they're investing in you, they're investing in the results and the transformation that you provide to them. They're not investing in the actual product that you sell. They're investing in what that product will do for them on the other side. Okay. The product is the tool, or your service is the tool to get them the transformation and those results. It's not the actual product that they're purchasing. So here's a really interesting statistic. 78% of sales people who use social media outsell their peers. And you're probably thinking, I'm not a salesperson. I'm a coach. I'm a consultant. Guess what? Yes, you are. You're a salesperson because you're selling services. You're selling products. So let's just call it what it is. You're still a salesperson. Now, you don't want to be seen as a salesperson, very likely, right? Because there's this icky feeling behind the word sales, right? So the way to not get seen that way is to show up as a human being and don't push your products and your services. You want to communicate the transformations, the results that you can provide. And the way to communicate that is through your content. That's how people get to know you, get to know your values. And then from there, the more that they see the content that resonates with them, right? That inspires them, that educates, that motivates them. And yes, you do want to throw in some promotional content in there, but the more you give a variety of those things, those different types of content, the more you're going to stand out. And then the easier it is when it's time to make an offer or to sell something, they're going to be more likely ready to say yes, because now they have built that relationship with you and with your brand and with your business and what it is that you do. So let's talk about 10 reasons why it's super imperative. And I'm so passionate about this because personally for me in my own experience, it wasn't until I finally grasped this idea of what I needed to do in my business to really to grow my business and to scale, which is developing myself as a personal brand. It wasn't until I did that that we really did scale and grow. And so that's why I'm so passionate about teaching this now. And as a social media marketing agency, we do a lot of, the social media tactics that need to be done for bigger companies, right? But when it comes to working with you as an entrepreneur, whether we work with you as an agency or one-on-one with me or inside of the Splash Marketing Collective, our process, our method is to help you show up as a personal brand first, because that is really what's going to move the needle for you. And that just comes from my own personal experience. So there's 10 reasons that I'm going to share with you as to why this is so important. Okay. The first thing I want you to know is that when you are consistent with doing this, with showing up as a brand, people will remember you. And you will stand out from the clutter and you will no longer have competition, because it's only you and your own uniqueness that is the one element that nobody can copy, right? And that one element is a huge part of building your own brand, of showing up as a brand and showing up with influence. All right. So, all right. Reason number one, when you show up as a personal brand, it gives you more credibility. As an entrepreneur, it's very easy, especially if you're a coach. The coaching industry it can seem that it's so oversaturated, right? There's so many coaches, there's so many consultants, there's so many direct sellers. Even within those companies, there's thousands and thousands. So how do you stand out? You stand out by showing up as yourself, by showing up as a human, by showing up as a brand. So it's going to give you more credibility. It's going to build your image outside of just the products and services that you sell. So that's number one. Here's another fun statistic. 92% of people trust recommendations from individuals over brands as a result of personal branding. 92% of people trust recommendations from individuals over brands as a result of personal branding. What that means is when you as the business owner is showing up as a personal brand, you are going to be trusted much more than, say, a corporate brand that puts themselves out there, because of that human connection. All right. Number two, personal brands differentiate products in saturated markets. So if you sell makeup, okay, there's tons of makeup out there. There are corporate brands that sell makeup. There are direct sales companies that sell makeup. But when you show up as a brand, as somebody who is providing value, who is sharing their own expertise, who is not just posting an image of a lipstick and why this color is so great, but you're actually maybe showing different ways to wear it, maybe with lip liner, maybe with different clothing, that is going to stand out much more than you just posting a picture of the product, right? And it stands out much more because you're putting yourself into your business. You're putting yourself into that product that's being sold. So it's going to differentiate you from the rest of the people that maybe sell that same product, right? And it's also going to connect you with your ideal clients. So just because, I'm just using this again as an example, just because you sell this doesn't mean that every single woman on this planet is your ideal client. not every single woman wears red lipstick or wears lipstick or maybe likes makeup, right? There's a specific type of woman. So, and it's also a specific type of woman that can connect with you on a human level. That's going to be your ideal client. Okay, so that's number 2. Number 3, if you notice, more articles and like blog posts and even posts are written about people than companies. So the reason for this is because people connect more deeply on a human level with a person, with an individual over a company. So it's going to help strengthen your relationships with the right audience. So if you can do any, for example, like blog posting on blogs, or get articles written about you, go on podcasts, do interviews with other people on live streams, that is going to it's going to do a much bigger impact on your business than if you're showing up or representing the company. For example, if you're in direct sales and you're just putting information out there about the company. So you want to show up again as a human. People are going to connect with stories, and stories that are being communicated by a person as an individual, not as a company. Number 4, a personal brand is going to get you bigger and better deals, because people are going to connect with you as a human versus a company. They're going to see you more credible because you are showing up as a brand. You're putting yourself out there as a brand. You're putting yourself out there as an expert, as a thought leader. And that's what happens when you show up as a brand. Number 5, it's going to help you build a better network. I can't tell you how many emails I get per month. I mean, just last week, I got 2 emails of somebody recommending me because they have seen my work, they have seen my lives, they've been in my workshops. And it's me that's putting myself out there, not my logo, not the business, not my products that I sell for my other company, Style Rebel Mama, things like that. It's because of seeing me out there. So it's building better network relationships. And so here's another statistic. 77% of consumers are more likely to buy from a business when the CEO of that business uses social media. Okay. So again, it's about you showing up as yourself on social media, online, as a brand. Number 6, it's going to help you build better relationships with your customers, because when you're building your personal brand, you're building credibility, you're building visibility, and you're establishing yourself as somebody who is specialized in your industry. And that's going to help build relationships. And you do that in so many ways. That's something that I teach about inside of the Splash Marketing Collective. But I'll tell you, with social media, if you use it the right way, meaning if you're using social media to sell and push product, you're not going to get very far. But if you use social media as a tool to make connections and start conversations, you will start to build relationships from it. And the stronger your personal brand is, meaning you have consistency in showing up and building these connections, the more people you're going to be able to serve, impact, and sell to, and the more yeses you're going to get. So building relationships is huge when you are showing up as a personal brand. Number 7, when you're showing up as a personal brand, you're able to generate leads through your funnels. And what I mean by funnels is it doesn't need to necessarily mean like a sales page, and then you send somebody a link to something, they opt in, and then it moves them through a funnel, right? A funnel could simply be you showing up on social media like I am right now, and then I offer you to get on a complimentary 30-minute call, and then from there, now you're kind of like in my funnel, and now we're building a relationship. But it's so much easier to do that, to get people into your space, into your world, when you are actually showing up as a personal brand, because it lets your audience get to know you, your company, on a more personal level. And so rather than just sending somebody a link to a product, but maybe they've never even seen you online, they've never heard your voice, they've never seen you do a tutorial on something, they've never seen you share valuable tips, right? If you're actually showing up online as a personal brand, when it's time to make that one-on-one connection and offer them to maybe click on something or to go somewhere to follow you, it's so much easier to do, because now they have created this relationship with you on a more personal level as a brand. Number 8, a personal brand gives you the ability to work with higher quality clients. Again, here's why. If you are pushing product, meaning you're constantly promoting your products and services, that is not helping you show up as an expert thought leader. That is not giving you credibility. But when and higher paying clients, they can spot that. They don't want to work with somebody that is just about product. They want to work with somebody that they feel is credible enough as an expert to help them solve their problem. And so when you're showing up as a personal brand, that's what it does. It allows you to attract the right clients that you truly want to work with, not people that are looking for a special promo, a sale, which is all fine and dandy, and it's good to do those things, right? But if you're maybe thinking that you're not speaking to the right audience, think about how you're showing up. Are you showing up as a personal brand? Are you showing up as an expert, as a thought leader, as the go-to person to solve their problem? Number 9, it's going to allow you to charge more money because you're showing up as an expert. Okay? So when you establish yourself as a brand, your credibility goes up. And so you have more opportunities. And honestly, there's not a lot of negotiation. When I have gotten on calls, and I'm just being super transparent, when I have gotten on a call with somebody through one of my funnels per se, they have already had probably about 5 to 7 different touch points with me. So they have already built a relationship with me. They've connected with me on a more human level. They know what it is that I offer. They know the value that I provide because they see me consistently on social. And by the way, I'm not spending 24/7 on social. You don't need to in order to do this. But if you're showing up consistently, and I'm talking about, Facebook Live once a week, that's what I do. And in between that time, you're putting content out there that actually inspires, motivates, educates, entertains people. They're getting to know you and your personality and what you're all about. By the time you get to the call with them, or to a point where you're offering them to purchase something, many times it's either a quick yes, or how can I continue to work with you? Or, how can I work with you? It's not so much, what does this cost? Because when you're providing value by showing up as a brand, price goes out the window. They don't see price because they see you and they see the value that you bring to the table, and they realize and they see you as the person that's going to help them solve whatever challenge that they're struggling with, that you can provide the solution to. All right. And number 10, showing up as a personal brand is going to attract clients to you versus you chasing them. So this is something that I learned right away. Well, I would say within the first year or so of starting my own business, our own agency, and so forth, was coming from corporate. There was a lot of sales calls I had to do, a lot of prospecting I had to do. And I realized that when I started my own business and I didn't, before I started showing up as a brand, so because I was waiting for my website to get done or waiting for my logo to get done, all these things, right? I realized I was chasing people, and I was chasing people because I wasn't showing up. When you start to show up as a thought leader, as an expert, as someone of influence, as someone who can provide value and transformations, people start coming to you. You will attract the right people. And I will tell you, as somebody who helps companies with their social media, and also as a coach, helping women entrepreneurs with their social media and teaching them the same strategies that we use as an agency, live video, what I'm doing right now, is the fastest and easiest way to start showing up as a brand and to start getting people to see you and be attracted to you. So if that is something that you're currently not doing, I invite you to be courageous enough to start to do it. And I can help you with that. All right. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. 10 ways and reasons that showing up as a personal brand is imperative, is necessary as an entrepreneur so that you can increase your revenue. All right, ready? Oh, hey, Paulette. When I post about eating well and exercises, the responses are surprising. Yes, right? Now, if you notice, if you were to just post, for example, I'm drinking it right now. This is not wine. If you just posted a picture of fizz, Paulette is one of my best friends, and she is an Arbonne representative. If you were to post just an image of a fizz pack, right, and then give details of what fizz does for you, compare that post to maybe you drinking fizz and then getting on your bike, your Peloton or treadmill, and then talking about the benefits of the energy boost that it gave you, you'll notice a huge difference. And that's because you're adding yourself to that content as a brand, and you are showing people that you are actually using it. And so that's much more impactful than just sharing the pack of fizz, right? So absolutely. Okay, so here are 10 ways that showing up as a personal brand, and 10 reasons why showing up as a personal brand is imperative as an entrepreneur. Number one, showing up as a personal brand gives you more credibility because you're giving a human effect to your business, and you're showing up as an expert, thought leader, consultant. You're actually consulting, right? Number two, it helps differentiate products in a saturated market, because when you show up as a brand, meaning when you show up as you, there is no competition anymore. You can only be you, unless you can clone yourself, which isn't actually happening yet. All right. Number three, more articles are written about people than companies. So lives, when you see people on live video like this, you're not seeing a logo talking right now, right? You're seeing a human. Podcasts, those are people. Even though they represent companies, it's actual people. Blog posts, articles, when you're sharing tips, it's an actual person writing about it. It's not a company writing about it. It's a brand, a personal brand that's writing about it. Number four, a personal brand is going to get you on bigger and better deals because of that credibility aspect. When you show up as a thought leader, as an expert, you are going to get better and bigger deals. You're going to be able to be showcased and highlighted as a thought leader. People want to do business with leaders, not with salespeople. Even though you're selling, it's how you show up. It's the perception. Number five, it's going to help you build a bigger and better network of people as well, because people network with people, not with companies, right? So when you show up as a personal brand, you build a bigger network of your ideal clients. and peers and people that you can collaborate with. And then that takes me to number 6. When you show up as a personal brand, you are actually building relationships on a human level. So it's building your credibility, your visibility, and establishing yourself as somebody that is specialized in your industry. You're going to build relationships. And when you build relationships, you have long-term clients. Number 7, it's easier for people to come to your space and follow through whatever type of marketing funnel you may have, whether that's you want them to get on a call with you, you want them to opt in for a free resource, for a sample of something, to get into your email newsletter campaign, right? When they see you as a personal brand, they've interacted with you on a human level, they see you as a real person, it's easier to generate those leads and to get people into your space. Number 8, a personal brand gives you the ability to work with higher quality clients. Higher quality clients prefer to work with leaders, thought leaders, experts than with a logo, with a company, with a product. They want to know that they're working with somebody that is actually going to bring them results. Okay. Remember, it's not the product that's bringing them results. It's actually you, because you are the leader of your business, of your product or your services. Number 9, showing up as a personal brand allows you to charge more money. It does, because you're showing up with established credibility. And so price honestly goes out the window. It's more about what you can bring to the table. And then the last one, number 10, a personal brand is going to attract clients to you versus you chasing them, because they're seeing that you are a real person leading a company with value. And the conversations are going to start flowing from there. All right. I will see you next week, same time, same day, Thursday, 12:30 p.m. for another marketing session. Until then, have a fabulous week and thanks for watching. Bye, guys.